Are you a theorist or practitioner?
So I learned from all the military. I went to Ranger School. I went to all these different schools to learn all of that, to learn how the mind processes. So I talk about theorists. I talk about practitioners. A theorist is a person who reads a book, doesn't do it, reads a book, learns about something, and then talks about it. A practitioner is myself. A practitioner is a person like me. I wanted to be an expert in the mind, a mental toughness guy, beyond mental toughness. The only way to do that, in my eyes, is to put yourself in hell. Put it in hell repeatedly. Repeatedly put yourself in hell and study how you process it. And that's how I was able to come up with all these different ways, all these different tools to slow the mind down in hell. Because the mind just speeds up. The mind wants to get out of the painful situation, the suffering. It can't process it. So that's what I realized by going through all these different processes of being in hell weeks. You know, it's just that.
I love that, man.
How
That's
the mind
amazing.
processes in hell.
I'm not wearing 2 masks. Son, that ain't happening. That's foolishness. And they said, well, you know, we've tested it out on laboratory dummies. And I think I tweeted out earlier this week, you really got to be a dummy if you're out here putting 2 masks on. I mean, for real. There is nowhere outside of these 4 walls that I need to go bad enough that I'm putting 2 masks on. Nowhere. Gas station, grocery store, nowhere, son. Nowhere.
Well, maybe we shouldn't treat our customers like cattle. And all the stores around here now have these signs that are hanging up that say, it's recommended that you social distance and wear a mask and wash your hands. Okay, thanks for the recommendation. Appreciate that. We as preppers should be prepared to not go to the store for a month or 2 or 3 or a year or 7. Good. Vote with your damn dollars. I'm so over the, well, they aren't gonna do anything, you don't let them. You can't be in the system and bitch about the system at the same time. Okay? It doesn't work that way. You're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. So if you think that the system is the problem, quit playing in it. Step back for a hot minute and let their first quarter 2021 profit and loss statements be abysmal. Y'all have fun with that. I'm over here eating homemade chicken wings because I can buy Frank's Red Hot by the gallon from Websteron.com. Now, know what I mean? You know what I mean. Cody Willis, exactly.
We are getting some chicken wire on the doors, and we're using our DeWalt here. I did a video on this. I'll leave that in the description box below, but this shit is mad fire. I mean, I can literally just rapid fire push everything in, and then you can see the chicken wire there so that the babies can't hop out. It's gonna be good. Here we are out here doing the things. It's raining and wet, but we are practitioners here. We're not theorists, we're practitioners. So there we have it. We got the new brooder barn completed. We got the chicken wire here at the bottom so they can't jump out. We'll be able to close the doors as well, so the doors will close, but these guys will go to their new homes tomorrow, and then we'll start the process all over again with some new chicks and ducks. We only got 7 chicks left, and we have buyers for them tomorrow, and luckily we have more chickens in the incubator, and they're already starting to hatch out this morning. So yeah, we'll continue to have chicks, and we're gonna get the incubator cleaned out, and we're gonna get some more eggs in there. We're gonna start the process all over again. So during the season, the incubators are on nonstop. These guys are adorable. Are you a theorist or are you a practitioner? I think this is a great topic, and I don't think it really gets discussed a whole lot. I think that the rendition that Mr. Goggins did is spot on, right? You can read a book about something, you can go through the mental gymnastics of something and then you can regurgitate it, or you can speak from experience, right? I think that what Bear from Bear Independent has mentioned numerous times and noted numerous times is also super important. As somebody who is prepared, how much practical application do you have to be able to say, yeah, I can go without depending on insert system here. And I also think that what Prepper Nation said in regards to wearing 2 masks, I think that's so unique in the aspect that he's really just saying what a lot of people are thinking, right? A lot of preppers out there have this imaginary line in the sand. And I say imaginary just because it hasn't happened yet, right? They have this, or supposedly hasn't happened yet. They have this line in the sand that will not be crossed. And if it is crossed, they're pulling out of the system, right? We're just not going to engage. And I find that interesting because a lot of people talk about that. And it seems like for Prepper Nation, that is to wearing 2 face masks. If I have to wear 2 face masks, I'm not going, his stance is he's just not going to engage in commerce anymore. And I think that's interesting because, based upon the clip, and if you watch it, I linked the whole show in the description box below. He seems genuine. Like he doesn't seem like he's bluffing, right? He seems, and he's at least trying to articulate to you that is 110% the game plan. And so the question really becomes, when preppers make these sentiments, are they making them from the theorization standpoint, or are they making this from the practical application standpoint? And unfortunately, most people make it from the theory standpoint, and that's, I'm not saying whether that's good or bad, but I can tell you for myself, if I'm going to make any kind of proclamation, I'm going to make it, and this is just me, this is just who I am, I make it from a position of authority, a position of 100% clarity. And the best place that clarity comes from is having already done it, right? Take the power outage is a great example. I know when the power goes out because I know what to do. The power goes out here regularly. I mean, it's not an uncommon occurrence at all. And so since we do have, power infrastructure events that happen here, I don't know if you want to call it issues or what have you, but yeah, we go without power here. I know what to do. And I can say that from a place of confidence, not because I have theorized about what happens when the power goes out, but from actually practical application of doing it, right? And as we've seen, like in other hurricanes, for example, and as we see at the time of this filming, it's the 16th of February, 2021. I don't know when this is going to be uploaded because obviously I don't have Wi-Fi here, but people are dying from the weather. If you look at the hurricane that happened in Louisiana that you saw the screenshot of earlier, most people died not because of the storm, right? Most people died not because of a lack of resources. Most people died from that event because they did not have the practical application to know how to use the equipment correctly. It all came down to a trainingism. And I'm not here to, talk bad about anybody, but I think that the reality should be addressed. And in this case, it was carbon monoxide poisoning from not following the instructions and not having the foresight to understand that when you run a generator inside, there's issues. That is purely a practitioner issue. It had nothing to do with it. I mean, it was theories that have never actually been played out. That is what caused the death. And so when we're looking at this from a very logical standpoint, a very realistic standpoint, a standpoint free from emotion, okay? And maybe that's just because, I think differently than most people. But when we look at this free from emotion, and we look at it purely from an empirical standpoint, there is a huge disconnect between one's theory and one's practical abilities, right? We do see there is a huge difference, right? So, like I said, take what Prepper Nation has said. He's not going to depend on the system if they have to wear 2 masks, and I see that being a reality way more than I see mandatory vaccines or any of the other conspiratorial stuff that's been mentioned online. That's why I included it in this video clip, because it's very possible for grocery stores to make that the next step, or to have that have that happening. And so what it comes down to is, as a prepper, if you have made that clear that there is even a remote possibility that you're going to pull your reliance from the system, how often have you done that? Have you gone a week without buying anything? Have you gone a month without buying anything? What does that look like? Have you actually done it? Right? A lot of preppers want to talk about how, they plan to get into, once food scarcity comes to a point, they're going to start raising animals, or they're going to do, X, Y, or Z. Well, have you ever done that? Or are you just bulk hoarding supplies, and when that comes, you're just going to somehow figure it out? Have you done any practical application to, raising animals? Because you could do it without having them. Trust me, I'm sure there's more than enough people out there that would love to show you how to properly clean and house and take care of animals during a proper husbandry setting. There's no doubt in my mind. You want to help me clean my rabbit cages out? I'll show you everything you need to know. I'll show you how to raise rabbits, right? So what it really comes down to is how much of the things that people theorize or they claim they know, have they actually done in real life, right? And I can tell you, for most people, most preppers and even prepper influencers, they are in that theorist stage. Everything is a theory. They've watched YouTube for a couple years now. They've bought some stuff, and now they feel like they are subject matter experts. They're SMEs, subject matter experts, and they're going to distribute this content to the masses, right? And that's fine. I want them to do whatever it is that makes them happy. But like I said, being able to speak from a place of authority and being able to say, you know what, I know what's going to happen when the power goes out because I've done it. Personal experience. I've documented what I've done. I know what my priorities are. I know what I got to do. That is a way better place to speak from than, I'm going to get on here, I'm going to rant and say I'm done. And when people are talking about just totally disregarding the system, that's a pretty big proclamation. And the idea that you're somehow going to just figure it out on a whim and you're going to be successful is the percentage point of that happening is so slight. It is literally a mathematical anomaly. And what do I mean by that? The idea that you're just going to figure it out when bad shit happens makes you a mathematical anomaly. If we have a true life grid down situation, it's not going to happen. But if we did, right? If we just had like a crazy Mad Max event, yeah, I mean, within 4 months, the population of the United States of America, 90 to 95% of the population of America will be gone. In a year, even more so. So will you still have people that make it? Yes, a very small percentage point, and those are what I would call mathematical anomalies. The idea that basically somebody mathematically will make it, I mean, that's what we're talking about for those that aren't prepared. Yeah, a small fraction of people, I guess will make it, just because math and, percentages and statistics would tell you that, yeah, sure, somebody will. But that's not something that I want to depend on. I don't want to depend on being a mathematical anomaly. I want to depend on authority. And that authority comes from putting yourself through the shit, right? Putting yourself through the paces. Coming at it from a place of experience. A place of practical knowledge. Being a practitioner. Because I can tell you, without equivocation, it's so much nicer to know, and it's very nice, and it gives me a lot of peace of mind to know this is something that I want to get done. And it's very nice to know that I can put myself through the paces on my own terms, on my own time, so that when that time does happen, I can speak from a place of authority, of having to know, well, the event's here, and I know I got this because I practiced this on my time, on my terms. Slowly and surely, I fixed the holes in that preparedness plan, and now I have a solid state of being. Not because I had theories and now I'm forced to deal with the incident, but I had theories that I practiced out during my own time at my own pace, and now that it's here, I'm fully ready to go. I'm fully ready to go because I already know what I'm going to do because I've already done it. I'm not speaking from a theory, I'm speaking from experience. So that's what I have for you guys. I encourage you guys. It's not too late. You know, it's never too late, guys. Like I said, um, it's never too late. We got plenty of time. I don't want anybody tell you otherwise. Don't want anybody tell you that things are just so bad that there's just no time left, because they're just being ridiculous. There's time left. There's lots of time left. There's lots of times for you to figure out what you need to do, prioritize what's important, and just get it done. Just get it done, man. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. Like I said, most people are in that theorist stage, and that's fine. But I encourage you, please, slowly, on your own time, on your own terms, get that practical knowledge down pat. Because like I said, the generator thing is absolutely horrible. And you know, right now I know Texas has 4.5 million people that are out of power supposedly, and yeah, I mean, we're gonna see how not having practical knowledge, how bad that's gonna. We're gonna see the horrific effects of people that had the resources, you know, survived the encounter, had the resources, but didn't have the practical knowledge or ability to see their way out. And that's, in my personal opinion, unacceptable. So there you have it. Hope you guys liked the video. If you think I got something wrong, leave me a thumbs down. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I'm curious to know what your guys' thought process are on this, and tell me how you feel. Do you feel like the majority of the preparedness community are practitioners of sorts? Or do you think a lot of them, like myself, are still basically enjoy the entertainment of the theory, you know, of the theory sci-fi side of preparedness? Let me know what you think. As always, guys, long live the Republic.